bossy when you're ready.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Twintuitive 717. I'm back with another reading here with this bossy Beeves today. She is just in a loving mood. Maybe it's the theme of the reading, okay? Divine Feminines, I do have a message here about the Divine Masculines, okay? And the message I'm getting very clearly here is your Divine Masculine, they are putting in a lot of effort into trying to love you, okay? But the problem is that they just lose themselves. They lose themselves in this feeling of loving you, and they do not like that feeling of being completely vulnerable. It feels really unnatural, okay? And as it should. I mean, they are divine masculines, okay? And I do feel like if many of them are just starting to awaken to certain aspects of the journey, the love and the intensity, no matter how many times you guys separate and reconnect, it's still overwhelming, okay? Someone finds themselves just losing themselves, okay? It may just be that they get a little bit too triggered, or maybe they're getting a little bit too jealous, or maybe they find themselves getting a little too possessive. You know, that's what happens with the divine masculines when they start dealing with a lot of these intense emotions for you. I do feel like at this time, a lot of them are like, I love you, but it's coming off as like possessiveness or feeling really jealous, or, you know, what I'm getting is like a lot of you may be seeing shadow aspects of them. And I feel like at the same time, Divine Feminine, you're very attracted to this. And that's exactly what's creating this intense and unique pull towards one another, okay? It's the very things within him that he's maybe afraid to outwardly express that really just kind of pulls you in here, okay? It's like you really do want to be loved by him, but he stops himself from fully engaging in doing that because he feels vulnerable in doing it. Okay, I feel too like this is someone who, I mean, they would rather just show you, they would rather just show you behind closed doors, right? How it is they feel. I think we touched upon that yesterday, and their love language comes off as touch. But I feel like this reading is digging a little bit deeper into that, because I do feel like it's like, okay, what I see is two people engaging in a lot of sensuality, because that's the only way that somebody really knows how to express these emotions. Because I'm hearing that like talking about it or expressing, like using the right words to express how it is they feel. Like many of you may not have ever gotten that deep, heartfelt conversation with your divine masculines as to how it is they feel for you, like expressing their love with all these words, but it comes in the gestures. Okay, and that is what I feel is happening with you two, okay? Somebody is really trying to love you. Hi, I see you. Yes, you're just looking so beautiful and delicious, okay? Yes, I see you. Huh?
Looking so irresistible.
Okay, let me just not get lost in her sauce right now and focus on the reading here. But yeah, guys, overall, that is really what I'm seeing here, okay? Somebody is really trying to love you without getting lost in the feeling of like vulnerability, because when they start feeling that vulnerable feeling, and the best way I can explain that vulnerable feeling is like they start getting all like mushy, and maybe they might like reach out to you more, and then all of these emotions start building up, like, oh shit, why didn't she answer my text yet? Okay, like, what the hell? Like, we usually talk every day. Why isn't she now all of a sudden responding? So it's like all of these little things start triggering the response out of them to just kind of run in the other direction. And that's why I'm saying a lot of you who are really maturing and really nurturing this journey, you're starting to understand that it's not really ghosting. And I feel too like many of the divine feminines are really surrendering to the fact that, like, space, like you got to give your divine masculines that space to process your intensity. I mean, you naturally are able to process shit without even thinking about it, divine feminines, you know, like they think that you're able to just articulate feelings just like that. Okay, feelings don't affect you. Not fair. Not fair, divine feminine. Feelings don't affect you, but to your divine masculines, they're like, holy shit, I'm gonna friggin' puke all over you right now. And so it comes off a lot in their like intensity, you know, in their intensity, a lot of the sensual pull towards you. Some of them too may even fumble the connection a lot or do things to sabotage it because, again, they really don't know how to just express their truth. They're afraid of coming off as like either too needy or too vulnerable. You know, it's like they don't want to come off as like, I love you and I need you, because it's like, oh, that feels unnatural to me. So let's go ahead and explore this energy a little bit with some of the cards here, guys, okay? Let's start with, what are they holding back from you? What are they holding back? Okay, so playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine, okay? So instead of feeling afraid to get lost in the feeling, I feel like many of them are just dying to let out their inner child when it comes to you. And it's like they don't want to even go there. Because once that happens, they start building up this feeling of just being comfortable with you. That's what I'm getting. This divine masculine stops themselves because they're like, well, you're getting too close, you're getting too comfortable. Like, you know, you got to remember, like, you know, just keep this, like, at this, like, level here. Keep it at this, like, boundary. It's like somebody's not allowing themselves to get lost in you. They don't want to get lost. They need to, like, maintain a level of... I don't know, I'm getting the word hardness, but they don't want to be hard. They just want to soften up and allow you to lean into them. And they want to love on you just as hard. You know, I feel like this divine masculine, they want to lean into you too. You know, they want to lean into you too, and they want to be loved by you. And that's something too that I've been really picking up on collectively with the divine masculines. Like, you know, I'll even use my son as an example, since the playful card came out and the inner child thing came out. I've noticed about my son, like, he needs his mama, yo. Like, boys, like, they are mama's boys. And it's the worst thing ever when a boy doesn't get that affection from his mother. And, like, men will always want and need affection, okay? In this really, like, playful way, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie, I didn't mean to scare you. And since Meg is here as an example, which she's totally gonna love this... Okay, side note, I've never seen a cat that loves affection more than Mega. Like, every day, there's not a day that goes by. Like, when I say my morning prayers, I'm like, God, I don't know what I did to deserve these cats, but thank you very much, because it must have been something super special. But anyways, what I was going to say about, like, just men in general is, like, they'll never stop wanting, like, playfulness, like, I love you, like, you know, come here, are you okay? Oh, did you hurt your head? Like, all of that stuff, like, just because they're men, like, it does, like, they crave that shit. And divine feminine, you have a way of naturally doing that, or bringing that out of your divine masculine, is like this beautiful playful energy, okay? And they find themselves getting lost in you. And then they have to, like, smack themselves and say, wait a second, like, don't get too comfortable in this feeling. Like, what are you doing? But somebody really does feel like that around you. Like, when they are around you, it's like, damn, how do I love you without feeling like I'm just going to melt into a puddle? I think that's an emoji, guys. If you guys look in your emojis, there's that melting emoji. That's how your masculines feel when they're with you, you know? But for some reason, I feel like they're like, how do I love you and still maintain that sense of control over myself? You know, that's what I feel. Like, how do I not lose myself completely and maintain control while loving this divine feminine? That's what this divine masculine wants to know. Okay, let's get another card about his feelings for you. Past life relationship. Okay, and with the playfulness card, and because I brought up the whole inner child healing thing, like, this journey between you two is never going to end. Okay? Each lifetime is an opportunity to love one another better than you did before. And you guys are always going to find one another in each lifetime, and you guys are always going to be on this journey of just, how do I love you? How do I love you more? Oh yeah, by loving myself more, by being the best version of myself. And it might take me some time to do that, and I might need to take some time away from you sometimes. Each opportunity that you two get in this lifetime is like a closer and closer realization to that truth. Wow. A lot of your divine masculines, I'm telling you, 2025 is like a really great year for a lot of them. Just like, I don't know, again, experiencing this vulnerability, right? Allowing themselves to get lost in you. And you're a strong divine feminine for that. For this masculine, whoever I'm picking up on, like, he's a man's man. You know what I mean? Like, real rough around the edges. And he's like a big baby when it comes to being around you with this playfulness card. Okay, I feel like his cheeks and his jaws hurt when he's around you, just smiling from ear to ear. Even the silence feels good between you guys. And when you're on the phone with somebody and you're just talking and then it goes silent, I feel like even that feels good between you two. Yeah, I feel like it's a big year, okay? Healing family issues, okay? Forgiving your parents. I'm hearing out of this card, it's like allowing yourself to be loved by this divine feminine. Remember I talked about how it's important for boys to get that affection from their mamas? Like even their dads too, like just to have that affection and that close, like that tight bond with your dad, like you'll always have that tight bond with your pops. Like that's my pops, like that type of shit. And then with your mom, you'll always be a mama's boy no matter how old you get. Like that type of shit. Like that's often a blessing in this lifetime, is to be able to have like close connections with your family, your parents. And I feel like your presence is helping this divine masculine to heal from so much just based on how like affectionate and loving you are. That's why they try not to get lost in you and lost in your sauce. Like I was almost getting lost in Mega Sauce, bro, because it's that good. Right? Like she's just so super cute. Just before we recorded the reading, I was like, man, your mom and dad must have been like super adorable to make a little cutie like you. But yeah, like everything that you give to them, divine feminine, like all of that, like loving, I'm hearing the words repair, cell repair. I'm thinking of my sister because she's a nurse. But yeah, cell repair, okay? You literally repair this divine masculine cells with your love. Like you regenerate their cells with your love. Like, our cells regenerate themselves. It's like when they're around you, their cells regenerate. It's like everything that they missed out on. All of it just starts healing. That's why they feel so good around you. And it's okay, divine masculines, because this is a strong divine feminine. It's okay to lean into her love. She's never going to, I feel like, ever let you lose yourself in that vulnerability. Okay? She'll never let you lose yourself in that vulnerability or lose yourself in this love. Okay? She's stronger than you think. Okay? We do have separation, so many of you could be going through a separation while your divine masculine realizes that this is what they're coming to terms with. I feel like, many of you might be like, oh God, like, what the heck? We just experienced such an amazing, incredible bonding experience, and now you're gone. Yeah, it's because he got lost. He found himself getting lost in it, feeling a little bit too comfortable, a little bit too vulnerable around you. Okay, it's going to take him some time to realize that you can handle it. Okay, you can handle his vulnerability, and you'll never, ever hold that against him, and you'll continue to respect his boundaries and respect his peace and continue to show up. Okay, many of them could be just taking this time apart to just like chill the fuck out, bruh. That's what I feel them saying to themselves. Okay, I feel like a lot of your divine masculines need to keep splashing their face with cold water every time they think about you, because it's like, it's so good. It's like it's almost too good to be true, so much to the point where it's like, I don't want to invest in this, because if I lose this, it's going to be too much. It's going to be too much to bear. It's going to be too much on my heart. I don't even want to deal with it. Self-sabotaging behavior. A lot of them are trying to come to terms with this. And I feel with the past life card coming up too, like many of them have, the reason they can't run from this is because they keep getting the synchronicities that you are the one, okay? You are the one, okay? That's why it's okay to get lost in you, divine feminine, because you're the one. You're the one that'll always bring out that vulnerability in them, and you're the one that's always going to make them feel, safe, even when they express like their darkest sides to you. That's one thing too that kind of that makes me think of the divine masculines, like the love they have for you. One thing they want you to know is like you two will always harbor these kinds of energies between each other between each other soulmate energies and romantic feelings. Okay, the reason being is because like you guys will, damn it, I lost my train of thought. Okay, hang on, let me pause the video and go back to it. Okay guys, so I was talking about the love that you guys harbor for each other. So I feel like, you're always going to harbor this love for one another, because I do feel like even in the times of like them showing up in their darkest times, the separation always comes to an end. And one thing that kind of stands out for your divine masculines is like, how can you still love me, like after all of that pain, after all of that hurt I've caused? I feel like many of you have equally caused a lot of that pain, but you're doing it and like it's coming off like in a cycle, right? Like they may have had to endure all of that, but now many of them are getting a chance to, or you, sorry, might have endured a lot of pain that your divine masculines caused. Now is the time that many of them are enduring a lot of that same pain, okay? And I feel like now is a reflection of like how could you have loved me during all of those times, okay? And this is what makes them feel like it's safe to lean into you, because you've seen their flaws, you've seen them without the mask. In fact, you prefer them without the mask, okay? Because you're safe to love, you're safe to lean into. You are them and they are you, okay? Both of you are like the best parts of each other that you guys crave. That's why your divine masculines are so in love with you, because it's like when twin flames meet, it's like they see, like, okay, when twin flames meet, first of all, you guys are like the best thing in the entire planet for one another, okay? You don't even care, okay? It's like you guys have this like tunnel vision when it comes to each other. You're the best thing on the planet for one another, okay? So to see that in each other, it's like an explosive feeling of like hitting the jackpot when it comes to matters of like the heart, or when it comes to love, okay? And I feel like for a lot of you, this feeling of just continuously having each other's backs on the journey, or continuously loving one another, like you've demonstrated this to this divine masculine, and right now is a time of them figuring out how to end off this separation that maybe some of you are in, maybe not all of you, but there's a lot of healing that's going on in the background to end this, because the romantic feelings never go anywhere, okay? This is what pulls them back to you. This is what ends off the separation. It's usually a feeling of thinking about you again. Maybe the past life relationship is like a dream that triggers them, okay? Sometimes it's just divine timing, right? Like you guys will go into a separation and it's like before you know it, feelings start creeping back in again, right? It's because you guys will always harbor those feelings towards one another, because your energy is one, your soul is one. When you start experiencing, when one of you alone starts experiencing healing, or you've gotten the lesson, or you're just like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that, maybe I shouldn't have done that, all of a sudden, boom, you know, the other one will have some kind of epiphany, or, you know, I see this feeling of like inching closer and closer and closer towards one another. And this is the time communication happens. And communication will definitely happen in ways where it's like the divine feminine swears she'll never ever reach out again, and like the ball's in his court, I'm never doing this again, and he has to be the one to come correct. And it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, feeling this very, very, very intense, strong urge to reach out, forget what I said, gonna send him a message, and then all of a sudden that message is embraced, almost like they were expecting it or manifesting it, okay? So yeah, I do see a lot of realizations coming through for this divine masculine collective in terms of like loving you, okay? They want to do it like correctly, they want to be more present, and like at the same time, like they really do want to have that inner knowing of like, it's okay, like this is your person, this is your soulmate, this is the romance of a lifetime, this is, you know, the person that you can express yourself with, this is the person that will bring you healing, okay? You're safe with this person, you're safe to be yourself with this person, okay? If a lot of you are experiencing silence from them, you know, embrace it. Embrace the silence, embrace the fact that they are just taking that time out to process the fact that they are falling in love with you, divine feminine, okay? So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys would like a personal session with me, visit some of the links in my bio. I'm on Wizio.com for recorded readings, and if you guys would like to talk with me, I do one-to-one personal sessions over at Hipsy.com. If you guys prefer to text, we can do that as well. But if you guys do prefer to talk, I've really been enjoying some of those sessions with you, just chatting away. All right, guys. I do have the membership section as well. So if you guys do like some of the more sensual readings, the 18+ readings, don't be afraid to check out the memberships, okay? I do have 2 tiers, a little sample tier for the juicy reads. And then if you guys like what you see, don't be afraid to join the extended section, okay? I love you guys. Take it easy, and I will catch you in the next reading. Take care, guys. Bye.